Hey, welcome to the Connecting Global Vision. Welcome to our podcast. Here we are going to have a new session, new episode with संजीत झा। संजीत झा जो कि उनका खुद का अपना YouTube चैनल है और वहाँ पे वो अपने स्ट्रैटेजीज और अपने डिफरेंट व्यूज पॉलिटिक्स और बहुत सारे अदर सब्जेक्ट्स में अपने व्यूअर्स और ऑडियंस को देते हैं। आज हम उनके साथ पॉडकास्ट करने जा रहे हैं और देखते हैं कि कैसा रहता है हमारा पॉडकास्ट। वेलकम संजीत टू आवर पॉडकास्ट।
Yeah, first, thank you so much, Neha. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And yes, I look forward to having some wonderful conversation in our time.
Yeah, okay. So today's podcast, what we are aiming for is that economic crisis, as we know, and जैसे कि आपके बहुत सारे YouTube वीडियोस देखे हैं और हर एक में आप अपना एक्सपर्ट कमेंट देते हैं और अपना पूरा डिटेल एनालिसिस देते हैं, तो हमें लगता है कि एक इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस एक नॉर्मल पब्लिक के लिए लेमन लैंग्वेज में आप कैसे समझाएंगे, और आपको क्या लगता है 2008 के इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस और अब जो आने वाला है, हम जिस सिचुएशन में हैं आज की डेट में 2024 में, हाउ इट्स रिलेटेड एंड इन कंपैरिजन दोनों में कैसा क्राइसिस का डिफरेंस है, सिचुएशन कैसा है दोनों क्राइसिस में?
Yeah, it's very good question. First, आपने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा और मुझे ऐसा लगता है एक सिंपल लैंग्वेज में, जिसे हम लेमन लैंग्वेज, आई शुड नॉट यूज द वर्ड लेमन लैंग्वेज, बट इट्स वेरी सिंपल लैंग्वेज में यदि मुझे ऐसा समझाना होगा, जब किसी देश की आर्थिक स्थिति बहुत ही खराब हो जाती है, जैसे कि लोगों की नौकरियां जाने लगती हैं, या चीज़ों के जो हमारे रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में जो चीज़ें हमें मिलती हैं उसकी प्राइसेस बढ़ जाती हैं, लेमन जब हमें बैंक के इंटरेस्ट रेट ज़्यादा देने पड़ते हैं, या हमें एक अनसर्टेनिटी सा फील होने लगता है मार्केट में, उसे हम कहते हैं कि ये इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस आ जाती है, जिसे नॉर्मल एक आम लोगों की भाषा में कहते हैं कि पैसे की इकोनॉमी में पैसे की किल्लत पड़ जाना। नॉर्मली इसे ही मैं एक सिंपल लैंग्वेज में इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस, या आप कह सकते हैं कि आर्थिक मंदी आ गई है। एक, जैसा कि आपने बिल्कुल ही एग्जाम्पल दिया, 2008 में जब फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस आए थे, तब अमेरिका में हाउसिंग मार्केट कोलैप्स हो गए थे और
करेक्ट।
इसका असर पूरी दुनिया की इकोनॉमी पे पड़ा था। और मैं बोलूंगा कि बहुत लंबे समय तक इस इकोनॉमिक स्लो डाउन का असर हमें डिफरेंट डिफरेंट मार्केट में, डिफरेंट कंट्रीज में जब देखने को मिले थे, जब लोगों की नौकरियां जा रही थी, लोगों के वेजेस बढ़ नहीं रहे थे जो काम कर रहे थे, या जिन लोगों की इमरजेंसी टाइप के काम थे उनके भी वेजेस या तो बढ़ नहीं रहे थे या कम हो रहे थे, तो इसे हम इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस कहते हैं। आपको पता होगा कि इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस से लोगों को काफी परेशानी होती है, स्पेशली वैसे कंट्री में जहां यंग पॉपुलेशन ज्यादा हो, वहां कुछ ज्यादा फर्क पड़ता है, क्योंकि आपके लोग मार्केट में आ गए हैं, वो रेडी हैं जॉब करने को, बट उन्हें यदि आप हाथ में जॉब नहीं देंगे तो वो जो एनर्जी है वो डिफरेंट तरीके से
यूज नहीं हो
बहुत
पा।
सारे सोशल क्राइसिस के रूप में आ सकते हैं। तो ऐसा मेरा मानना है इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस के बारे में।
या थैंक यू, आई थिंक ये बहुत अच्छा आउटलाइन है टू स्टार्ट दिस पॉडकास्ट कि क्या होता है, सो दैट पीपल कैन रिलेट नाउ वॉट एवर वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस नाउ। द फर्स्ट थिंग, द अदर पार्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, कि हम जानते हैं 2008 में बहुत बड़ा एक इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस आया था और नाउ वी आर इन 2024, जो कि हम अभी भी देख सकते हैं, नॉट ऑफिशियली बट वी नो दैट डेफिनेटली देयर इज अ बर्ड्स ऑफ दैट क्राइसिस। तो कैन यू टेल अस कि कैसा सिचुएशन है अभी, अगर आप 2008 और अभी 2024 से कंपेयर करते हैं, क्या हम उतने बुरे सिचुएशन में हैं, उससे ज्यादा है, या फिर हम उस जो 2008 में हमारे पास इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस हुआ था वैसा शायद अब ना हो वापस?
या आपने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा, और इस क्वेश्चंस के मैं बोलूंगा दो पार्ट हैं इसके रिस्पॉन्स, और आपके दर्शकों के लिए यदि मैं दोनों पार्ट को थोड़ा सा अलग अलग तरीके से एक्सप्लेन करूं।
जरूर।
यदि हम 2008 के फिनेंशियल क्राइसिस को अगर हम 2024 के फिनेंशियल क्राइसिस के साथ कंपेयर करें तो इसमें मुझे कुछ सिमिलैरिटीज जरूर दिखती हैं। बहुत सारे सिमिलैरिटीज हैं बट दोनों में काफी डिफरेंस भी है। 2008 में जो क्राइसिस आया था वो प्राइमरीली हाउसिंग मार्केट के कोलैप्स करने के की वजह से शुरू हुआ था।
करेक्ट।
और इसका जो असर है आपने देखा होगा मेनली इन यूएस में बट रेस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड में बैंकिंग और फिनेंशियल सेक्टर के ऊपर इसका काफी असर पड़ा था। जैसे लेमैन ब्रदर जैसी बहुत बड़ी कंपनियां आपने देखा होगा वो धराशायी हो गई और इसका रिपल इफेक्ट जो है वो पूरे ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी पे पड़ा। अब 2024 में जो सिचुएशन है 2024 में मैं जब आपसे बात कर रहा हूं तो वो थोड़ी सी कॉम्प्लेक्स है। बिकॉज हमने कोविड 19 के पेंडेमिक के बाद जो ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन में डिसरप्शन देखे हैं स्पेशली यूएस और चाइना का जो एक डीकपलिंग की बात हुई post-COVID-19। दूसरा आपने देखा होगा यूक्रेन रसिया के वॉर को लेकर के जो क्राइसिस आई है उसमें ऑयल के प्राइसेस एंड उसमें सप्लाई चेन को लेकर के जो हुए हैं। तो ये दो कारण हैं। हालांकि मैं अभी तक इस मामले में पूरी तरीके से श्योर हूं जो 2008 की तरह ये फुल ब्लोन क्राइसिस नहीं आए हैं लेकिन उसका रिस्क जरूर कुछ बढ़ गया है। ये स्पेशली दोनों घटनाओं को इफ यू कैन ऐड इट especially post COVID-19 with the impact on China and rest of the world, especially the US economy, and second Ukraine crisis को लेकर के।
करेक्ट। सो माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि अब तो हमको ये समझ में आ गया कि 2000, आप जैसे आप बोल रहे हैं कि 2008 में हाउसिंग पे सबसे ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट था, और 2024 में बिकॉज ऑफ वेदर इट इज यूक्रेन और अदर फैक्टर,
कोविड
ये
19
कोविड
हाँ।
19, ये इन सब फैक्टर्स की वजह से वो इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है आने वाले इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस में। बट एक जो थर्ड बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट, एज अ टेक्निकल पर्सन वी ऑल नो that which could be a very, which has a very big role in the future, it might be, it might not be, that is AI, we know. So do you think that AI or any advancement in a technology has any impact or role in this economic crisis? और आपको उस एंगल से कुछ अगर लगता है इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस में है तो?
या आप इस क्वेश्चंस को यदि मैं ठीक से समझा तो आपका क्वेश्चन ये है कि 2008 में तो ठीक है ड्यू टू दी हाउसिंग कोलैप्स के कारण इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस का रिपल इफेक्ट पड़ा था। और 2024 में कोविड 19 के कारण एंड रसिया यूक्रेन वॉर के कारण इकोनॉमिक रिसेशन का एक इम्पैक्ट एंड रिस्क दिख रहा है। बट यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट इज देयर एनी इम्पैक्ट ड्यू टू द एआई, मतलब आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के आने से भी इकोनॉमिक रिसेशन में कोई इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है या पड़ने का चांसेस है?
करेक्ट।
ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग ये क्वेश्चंस काफी इंपॉर्टेंट मुझे लग रहा है। मेरा ऐसा मानना है और शायद बहुत सारे एक्सपर्ट इससे सहमत हो सकते हैं नहीं भी हो सकते हैं। एआई के कारण एक बहुत बड़ा जो सप्लाई चेन है वो दैट्स गोइंग टू बी डिसरप्ट, नो डाउट अबाउट इट, राइट? बट
डेफिनेटली।
एआई इन ओवरऑल इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस को सॉल्व करने में हेल्प करेगा। अब कैसे करेगा मैं आपको दो तीन एग्जांपल देता हूं। पहला एग्जांपल है लोगों के मन में कई सारे कंसर्न हैं जो एआई इज गोइंग टू रिप्लेस द जॉब। दैट्स ट्रू। बट ये भी सही है कि एआई इज गोइंग टू रिप्लेस सम ऑफ द जॉब बट इक्वली दे आर क्रिएटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ जॉब्स। दैट्स नंबर वन। नंबर टू, एआई के कारण बहुत सारे जो सप्लाई चेन है वो ऑटोमेशन हो जाने के कारण वी कैन reduce a lot of cost, right? That's going to offset the inflation, some of the portion. So overall, यदि आप AI का impact के रूप में यदि आप मुझसे लोगों के अपने ओपिनियन हो सकते हैं बट मेरा ऐसा मानना है AI is rather helping the economy to offset some of the risk. इसको मैं निगेटिव की तरफ नहीं मानूंगा।
तो आपका ये मानना है कि एआई इज हेल्पिंग अस इन अ पॉजिटिव वे rather देन।
यस यस।
ओके, ओके। अब जैसे कि हम लोग ये देख चुके हैं कि एक डिफरेंट ओवरऑल फैक्टर की इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस क्या है, क्या क्या इम्प्लीकेशंस और क्या क्या फैक्टर्स उसमें हमने देखा कि हो सकता है। अब हमारा जो मेरा जो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है नाउ, हम एक कंट्री वाइज जा सकते हैं। जैसे कि हम यूके ले, तो यूके का सबसे पहला है कि इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस में कि हाउ इज द यूके अडाप्टिंग पोस्ट ब्रेक्सिट एंड व्हाट आर द लॉन्ग टर्म implications especially in order to avoid the economic crisis, because हमें पता है पोस्ट ब्रेक्सिट एरा में यूके इज इन डिफरेंट स्टेट, प्री एंड पोस्ट ब्रेक्सिट। तो क्या ये सिचुएशन है और क्या क्या स्टेप्स यूके ले सकता है या ले रहा है एक इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस नहीं आने के लिए या एक ग्रोथ करने के लिए, ग्लोबल ग्रोथ के लिए?
या इट्स अगेन बिकॉज आई वुड लाइक टू कॉम्प्लीमेंट यू दिस क्वेश्चंस। अगेन इस क्वेश्चंस के दो पार्ट्स में मैं आंसर देना चाहूंगा, रादर देन मैं एक्सप्लेन करना चाहूंगा फॉर योर व्यूअर्स। सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि ये यूके में इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस का रादर देन क्या इम्पैक्ट है ब्रेक्सिट के बाद, और यूके व्हाट दीज स्पेसिफिक थिंग्स इट्स डूइंग, राइट। सो मैं दो तीन चीज बोलूंगा। पहला तो ये है कि द यूके पोस्ट ब्रेक्सिट के बाद नेविगेटिंग इट विद वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट एंड कॉम्प्लेक्स चैलेंजेस। और चूंकि इनका यू के साथ जो फ्री ट्रेड अग्रीमेंट वगैरह का था, उसके कारण इनके बहुत सारे चीजों पे फर्क पड़े और इसके कारण इन्फ्लेशन इंक्रीज। So what they need to do and what they are doing it rightly, that they are approaching to the other big, larger, major economy to doing the free trade agreement, like which they have done it with the US, with the Australia, they have done that, right? With the New Zealand, they have done that. With the Canada, they have done that. Now they were targeting like China and India. I think they both are in progress, and I believe if they do that, then definitely they will be in a good position. Now goes to the other part of the UK economy. That's the UK housing market. So the UK housing market is likely to see some cooling due to the recent interest rate hike. You can correct me. मैंने देखा है कि interest rate hike हुए हैं. And higher borrowing cost typically depend the demand. So यदि इनका ये हाउसिंग का इशू सॉल्व हो जाता है, दैट्स ओवरऑल गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट अ लॉट पॉजिटिवली इन द यूके इकोनॉमी, बिकॉज दो तीन मेजर पार्ट्स हैं. फर्स्ट इज इन्फ्लेशन ड्यू टू द फ्री ट्रेड अग्रीमेंट, हाउसिंग एंड बोरोइंग एंड द इंटरेस्ट रेट इज अगेन डिफरेंट पिलर फॉर द यूके इकोनॉमी. सो इट्स दो पार्ट पे तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है दैट यूके इज इन अ राइट शेप. Now, third and most important part, which could be the UK economy pillar, is that low carbon economy. आज आपने देखा होगा कि सारी दुनिया में this is again going to be the very very big topic and every country is do something or other. And मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है that UK is managing this transition very very well, especially they are investing very heavily in renewable energy, green technology. So for a short term, UK economy will have some challenges, but for a medium and long term, I see that UK economy would recover and recover nicely. This is my understanding. Yeah.
नो, दैट इज ट्रू। एटलीस्ट यूके में हम देखते हैं कि बहुत सारे नए नए तरीके से दे आर ब्रिंगिंग द पॉलिसी, दे आर ट्राइंग टू यूज इट इन अ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी। सो दैट्स फॉर श्योर इट इज देयर। सो
Yeah.
इज इट करेक्ट टू से, व्हाट आई अंडरस्टूड, इज इट करेक्ट टू से कि हम अगर हम यूके की बात करें, सो दे आर इन द प्रोग्रेस एंड इन द फ्यूचर रन और इन द लॉन्ग टर्म इट विल बी इन अ बेनिफिट ओनली, कि जो भी वो कर रहे हैं पॉलिसी और इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं और जो भी अपना रिलेशन कंट्रीज से बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक वो लॉन्ग टर्म में बेनिफिट होगा उनको।
Yes, yes, I agree with your point that for a short term, it looks little uncertain due to various reason. But इनके जो पॉलिसीज हैं और इनके जो रोड मैप हैं, उससे मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है that for a medium term and for a long term, they are going to recover it nicely. So yes, I'm sure about this, and I completely agree what you said. Yeah.
Okay. Just because you said the policy or roadmap है, do you have any example कि उनके पास क्या policy या क्या road map है, एक दो जो I know there are many, but एक दो जो बहुत important and which you think that it could be something it could turn around और जो कि बहुत important रहेगा future के लिए.
Yeah, so the turnaround, I would not use this ambitious word that it's going to be turnaround. बट जो तीन फैक्टर जो मैंने बोला, पहला ये कि यूके इज फोकसिंग लॉट मोर इनटू देयर इनोवेशन strategy. Globally, whatever the big tech firm, you would see that they are choosing UK is their investor friendly, their location, the people. So, and government is also focusing a lot in increasing investment into R&D across various sectors, and particularly the high growth areas like the artificial intelligence, the clean energy, biotechnology. So these are definitely the one part.
A question, I'm just sorry for interrupting in between. When we are saying the lot of firms are investing in UK, are we saying that post Brexit also the situation is same? Post Brexit also people want to or firm want to invest in UK?
Yeah, so I no, I completely agree. I'm all talking about the post-Brexit time,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And I can name it. The Google, Microsoft, Amazon, all are investing a lot to create the R&D and innovation center on artificial intelligence, clean energy. A lot of investment are coming, especially in the Cambridge side on the biotechnology. So of course, even in government has realized the value of innovation and technology and providing the high paying good jobs, quality jobs. So yes, all I'm talking about the post-Brexit.
Okay.
Now, the other point, because I would just would like to explain this, your questions for better understanding to your viewers. So that one part was that. The second part was that the 10-point plan for a green industrial revolution. And this plan has been, I don't know whether, it's much to be publicized in the newspaper or in the system, because the government has worked on the 10-point green industrial revolutions, including on the low carbon economy, climate change, R&D, innovations, artificial intelligence. So if you see that overall, they are very much a very long-term approach. These approaches are very long-term. These approaches has been developed with the aim to make this economy much more long-term sustainable, and providing the quality jobs, productivity,
Correct.
environment friendly, sustainable. So yes, I'm confident about for a medium and long term, the UK economy will be in a good shape.
Yeah, I think that's important because we need to understand that the policies with they are taking, is it going to help UK economy in future or not? So thanks for highlighting all those things. Okay. The second question is that what trend do you foresee in the UK housing market? I know this is a big term, but can you just emphasize or highlight about the UK housing market situation right now in 2024?
Yeah, because this is really a very broad questions, but I will try to explain in a simplistic term for your viewers. So the UK housing market in 2024 at a very, very interesting, I would say that the juncture at the phase. Over the past few years, we have seen a mix of factors that are influencing the market. And those factors are, first, I would say that the rising interest rate have had a very, very significant impact, especially with the Bank of England increasing rates to they believe to combating the inflation. Borrowing cost for mortgages have gone up. And this has cooled the demand somehow, because when you're going to increase the interest rate, of course, the demand is going to be dipped down. Secondly, I also believe that there is a regional variations in how the housing market is performing. Let me say with you example. So in a specifically London and the Southeast, for instance, are experiencing very slower growth, and partly due to the very, very high property prices. And also a lot of people, especially the post-COVID era, people are coming from the different countries, like due to the Boris Johnson has given this opportunity, the people from Hong Kong and could come and buy the houses. So that's the one part. The second part is that on the other hand, that's all, places like the London, Manchester, big and smaller cities, the property prices are increasing. On the other hand, like the regions like north of England and the Midlands are seeing relatively a stronger demands as buyers look for the better value. So these places you would see the demands are high. This is the two typical my understanding in the housing market. Another trend which I see that the increased demand for energy efficient houses, while the UK's focus on reducing the carbon emissions, there is growing interest in the property side, I see. So overall, if you ask me, Neha,
Mhm.
that can I sum up these whole trends in 2, 3 big points, I would say
Yeah,
that market is definitely not experiencing the dynamism as it used to be before. It's stabilized now, right? Because for certain time being in last year, it was very, very volatile. It was looking. We could see a very shift towards a more sustainable, clean energy house. We see that there are regional disparities among the areas and the interest and the trend of the house. But overall, at this point of time, when I'm talking to you in August 2024, this looks stable.
that's good. And somewhere I feel कि जब हम ये सब बातें कर रहे हैं, एक और फैक्टर जो चेंज आया है लोगों में,
Yeah.
pre-COVID and post-COVID, that is, कि pre-COVID people were more into the flats and everything, and they wanted to be in the London or nearby. But post-COVID क्या हुआ है, because of work from home policy and other factor, now people want bigger home, और वो अब थोड़े farther place में भी रहने के लिए they are ready to stay. Like that's my observation. I don't know if you also have the same view.
Yeah, I agree. And that is the reason that I said that one of the impact, especially जो लंदन से आउटस्कर्ट के इलाके हैं जैसे मिडलैंड एंड ये वहां पे डिमांड्स बढ़े हैं बिकॉज पीपल लाइक वैल्यू ऑफ देयर मनी. So if you are living in London and trying to buy a property in London, you need to spend a lot of money. Um, but with a less amount of money, if you are investing in the Midlands, you will have a bigger house, big quality of life when you do not need to travel every day to work. So yes, I completely agree what you're saying. And yes, this is one of the trend.
Yeah. ओके सो आई थिंक वी हैव कवर्ड ऑल द थिंग अबाउट यूके कि यूके में चाहे वो हमारा हाउसिंग मार्केट हो या हमारा इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ हो या फिर और कोई लो कार्बन व्हाट वी आर सेइंग गो ग्रीन देयर इज
Yeah.
वन मोर थिंग विच आई फील इन द यूके मार्केट or about UK, which I would like to discuss, is about the job market. I think that is something if you would like to say कि अभी हमारा जॉब मार्केट का सिचुएशन जो है 2024 में आपको क्या लगता है कैसा सिचुएशन है?
Yeah. The first thing is that no, I completely agree that overall in this point, the job market, of course, is not looking as rosy as it used to be for a very long period of time to London, especially the last recession के बाद जिस तरीके से job market इस तरह से flourish किए. Rather, just post COVID, the job market was booming, right?
Yes, definitely.
Suddenly, since last 2 months, it is getting slow. उसके दो तीन कारण हैं. I cannot just brush it off. Only the automation is the reason. Of
Correct.
course, the AI and automation is one of the big reason. But other reason ye the that post COVID, the clients were very, very excited. They wanted to invest a lot of money. So the firms started to recruit and hire a lot of people rather than overhire. So
Yes,
now instead of using this word, the time is not that great. I would say the firms is now getting the right sizing their firm. So the firm was oversizing. Now they are right sizing the firm, right? But it's going to be continue for quite some time. It's not going to be suddenly changed now in a positive or negative, but because this is the right sizing, so the right sizing is going to be stable for now for quite some time. Yes. One more important thing which I want you to highlight to your viewers, that now more jobs are coming into technology sector, more jobs are coming into AI, cybersecurity, if you talk about the technology jobs.
correct,
Other
correct.
jobs are coming like clean jobs and green jobs in ESG, sustainability, and all these things. So, yes, the jobs nature has been changed, right? But the number of jobs has been right sized.
करेक्ट आई थिंक रियलिटी चेक जो था कि पोस्ट कोविड एक थोड़ा पैनिक में भी कंपनीज ने बहुत हायरिंग किया था और उस टाइम जिस स्पीड से बूम आया था और जॉब मार्केट में और जो हायरिंग चल रही थी एंड इफ वी कंपेयर नाउ तो अब आई थिंक वो राइट साइजिंग दे आर गेटिंग द रियलिटी चेक और अब वो उस प्रोजेक्ट के डिमांड के हिसाब से नाउ दे आर फिटिंग द पीपल इनटू दैट
Agree. Yeah,
या
agree.
Correct. So I think now we have covered everything about UK. So let's go to the US. As we all know कि US में अपना ही एक अलग era चल रहा है. So starting with the US, how do you think the Federal Reservation approach to inflation and interest rate right now in 2024 in the US market?
Yeah. And US is very, very important. Rather, I would say that to covering the economy, the global economy is a very, very large topic,
Correct.
especially US is a very, very critical and one of the most important actor in the global economy. So now let me explain to in a very simple language for your viewers that US economy is around 25% at this point of time also when I'm talking to you, that 25% of the whole global economy, around 21 or 22 trillion US dollar is the whole economy size.
Which is huge.
It's very huge. The in now going to be pinpointing specifically your question that what's the approach of the US Federal Reserves, especially the inflation. So इसे मैं इस तरीके से देखता हूँ that the Federal Reserves is a very, very cautious towards the inflation, right? And if they, because the interest rate adjustment is very, very critical, and if they strike the right balance, which they are trying since quite some time, it could stabilize the whole US economy and preventing it for a overheating. Why I'm asking you that there are some concern in a different quarters that yes, there are some recession and slowing down and all these things, but to preventing that, they are trying to increase the interest rate, but they need to be keep it a balance, right? They are cautious, but they should not do behave like over cautious. This would be my my learning and
Such how can we summarize this? Like if we have to say कि federal approach में they are the way they are increasing the interest rate and everything, is it like they are getting overcautious and it's impacting their economy or it's impacting their market? Because हम ये जानते हैं कि कहीं ना कहीं जो हमारे बात होती है कि not officially but somewhere United States already hit the recession. So is it true to say दैट इट्स ऑलरेडी इट, क्योंकि जो चीज़ यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में होता है उसके बाद उसका कैस्केडिंग इम्पैक्ट बाकी कंट्रीज में होता है स्टार्टिंग विथ यूके. सो इज इट करेक्ट टू से?
yeah, so iske answer is a yes and no, but I will put myself in a category which is not going to be believe in alarm bell before the time, right? Yes, there are some experts who is telling it, but in my understanding, this was for a moment. It was looking like that recession and other factors are coming because the inflation, and as I'm repeating it again and again, and because this is a very common factor, Russia-Ukraine war, post-COVID-19, China, then AI is coming. So there were a lot of factors, right? But still, I do not have any strong evidence to believe it that the US economy is in recession. Yes, there are some overcautious approach by the Federal Reserve. There are US tech influence, which is definitely impacting in a big way through especially the certain type of job. I agree that in US there is inequality has increased after the post-COVID and all these inflation. So there are some red suits, but there are equally some green suits, right? So in summarization, if you ask me that is the US economy is in recession, my answer will be no. But is there any risk left, still left, or it's all the risk gone? I would say yes, still there are some risks involved, but it's not in a recession in my understanding.
Yeah, we cannot say officially, but definitely it has a risk which can lead to recession. Next question, which I feel is that what are the key economic policies needed by the needed to address? What are the economic policies needed to address growing inequality in the US?
I do have my own thoughts, and which I believe that this applies to almost all the economy, not it applies to the US because the US is such a large. So there are two, three advice I do have, if anyone can listen it. The first is the progressive taxation is one of the solutions. So one of the most direct ways to address inequality is through a more progressive tax system by ensuring that the higher income people are providing the fair share of taxes, and the government can generate more funds to fund the social economic initiative. That's number one. Number two, what the US or the other economy which they can do, like the way the US runs, I would believe that investment in education and training. So tackle inequality in the long term, that the US needs to invest heavily money into the education, training and all, because these are the only sector which can create a good quality of jobs and which are creating a very, very good quality of job. To include making higher education much more affordable, accessible, as well as expanding the vocational training could definitely help. The third,
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. The thing is कि I feel कि US
yeah,
already investing a lot in the higher studies और या फिर because it's a global leader in the technology. तो I think उस जगह पे तो US already काफी invest करता है. Just as a curiosity, I'm asking कि क्या अभी भी scope और है या फिर is there something which they are lacking behind?
yeah. So that's a very good question, and let me address you in that way. So there are two ways. So yes, they do have a very good universities, but some of the good universities either till the time they do not have the right set of training which is needed at this point of time, which is equally accessible. Yes, if you have a money, you go to the premium universities and you will get it. But it is not accessible for all the training institutions for the normal people. And the same applies to healthcare as well. The US has one of the best healthcare system in the world, but it's not one of the best affordable healthcare system in the world, which can be applied to everyone and have access to everyone. So yes, these are the few things which I still believe that US lawmakers need to do a lot, and there is still a lot of gaps which they can fill that.
Okay, got it. Yes, so we were going on the next point. Sorry, I interrupted you because I felt that this is a very genuine question. Yeah,
No, it's good. So that's I was telling it. So those two part, then affordable housing, they needs to do it. So yes, you can go ahead with your next question. I
okay.
yeah.
नहीं मुझे लगा कि आप एक और कोई पॉइंट बताने वाले हैं उसके बाद.
I think it was affordable housing. So
Okay.
this is the one area where they can work on the affordable housing. And I believe that in some of the state government, right, in the US is doing it, and they do have some of the best uh, practices already available in the US. But in overall, in a federal level, they could find a way where they can fund those people for the affordable houses. That's one of the area they can do that.
Okay. एंड द नेक्स्ट थिंग, क्योंकि जब हमारा हाउसिंग मार्केट एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स, वी नो कि यूएस इज अ ग्लोबल लीडर इन द टेक्नोलॉजी. सो डू यू थिंक दैट इट्स गोइंग टू इम्पैक्ट द इकोनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी और ग्रोथ बिकॉज दे बीइंग द ग्लोबल लीडर, या उस डायरेक्शन में?
ये जो मैंने रीजंस आपको दिए हैं, ऑफ कोर्स व्हाटएवर द यूएस डज, द वर्ल्ड विल हैव एन इम्पैक्ट एंड अदर इकोनॉमी विल हैव एन इम्पैक्ट. But the issue which they need to do for their own people, that's not going to be replicate or ripple effect for the rest of the world, right? Yes, if there will be some unrest is coming in the US, like there are some sort of agitation and something like come, then government becomes unstable in election. If there will be some, again, with a similar situation like it has happened before, that could definitely impact negatively, but I do not think these are the strong reason which is going to ripple effect for the rest of the economy in the world. But yes, US is US, 1/4 of the whole world economy, have a risk to impact, but I cannot say any direct evidence to
As
impact
of
it.
now, as of now, there is
As
no.
of now. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
करेक्ट. अब जबकि हम यूके यूएस दोनों कवर कर चुके हैं, द नेक्स्ट कंट्री इज इंडिया, विच इज लाइक विच पीपल आर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू, कि ये फ्यूचर इकोनॉमी और फ्यूचर बहुत सारे अपॉर्चुनिटीज है इंडिया में. सो द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट व्हाट सेक्टर डू यू थिंक विल ड्राइव द इंडियाज ग्रोथ और इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर?
Again, a very, very interesting topic. And I have done a lot of work on this topic, right? And precisely, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि there are some common denominator in all the economy uh, which can apply. But for India perspective, मैंने दो तीन sector मुझे ऐसा लगता है that India could do that. Pehla, the technology and IT sector, but it has to be an upgraded IT sector with the use of a lot of AI and innovations. This is the one area which can lead India to the different league altogether, and the impact or the democratization of AI and the technology can make many people out of the poverty and middle class into a higher income class people. So that's the one sector. The second, I believe that pharmaceutical and biotechnology is another sector which India could be the world leader. India is anyway the very, very good market leader in some of the pharmaceutical drugs and all. But if they can put little more money on R&D and innovations, and they can become the market leader and world leader in biotechnology, this is the another sector. Third, and which I like it, that I have recently heard Prime Minister Modi is also talking about from the Red Fort, and I agree with his thoughts regarding the renewable energy, is one of the, because India's energy consumption is high due to its high population, and if we rely completely totally on the other non-fossil fuels and all rather fossil fuels, it's not going to be sustainable for our economy. So if we can slowly but steadily move into a renewable energy, I believe that we have a high chance to increase our productivity and make our economy much more stronger.
बट आपको लगता है कि आज की डेट में इंडिया में वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर या वो सपोर्ट सिस्टम है कि हम इसकी तरफ जा सकते हैं?
Yeah, it's a good question. If your answer is hai, the answer is no. If your question is hai, to Aman, my answer is no. But do you think that do we have a capability to be? I would say yes, because I was reading some of the article very recently that what they are doing on renewable energy sector. I think they are doing good. They are collaborating with some of the very big firm innovation center on renewable energy, and they are doing it good. But we have such a high requirement, right? Whatever we do, it has to be a high scale, the way that China did it. So the answer is that है, आपका क्वेश्चन आंसर है कि we have, answer is no, but do
हाँ,
we have a capacity and there is a scope to do that? The answer is yes, we do have a capacity and a scope to do that. And are we doing it enough? I would not say we are doing it enough, but we are doing it good.
एटलीस्ट वी स्टार्टेड विद दैट कि ठीक है हमने
Yeah.
स्टार्ट कर दिया है.
Yes. And then last, I wanted to share that one of the another area which India could do is a digital infrastructure. And I would see that here India has progressed a lot, especially as an advanced digital economy in terms of all our people are connected with the UPI, they're transferring, money transfer, and anything is happening cashless. I travels around the world, but I believe the way the India has progressed, especially in this sector, is remarkable. And if they can utilize the 5G properly, I think there is another a big scope to advance the economy in a big way. So yes, these are the 4 5 things I believe that India has a capacity, and these are the opportunity area where Indian economy could be thrive.
करेक्ट. एंड जैसे कि हम बाकी कंट्रीज के लिए भी बात करें, डू यू थिंक कि इंडिया का जॉब मार्केट एज ऑफ नाउ जो यंग जनरेशन है उनके लिए इज इट गुड? और आपको क्या लगता है कि अभी इंडिया का जॉब मार्केट गोइंग फॉरवर्ड फ्रॉम 2024 कैसा होगा या कैसा चल रहा है?
Yeah, it's a good question, Neha, and I appreciate it. And it's right that at least you ask this question. And मेरे जो इसमें thoughts हैं वो थोड़ा सा different हो सकते हैं लोगों का. So इंडिया की इकोनॉमी में टेक्नोलॉजी और डिजिटल स्किल्स की डिमांड है. Are our people are good enough? I would say that our good number of people are very good enough, but there is a lot more to do, right? That's number one. So we need to skill our universities and all, and vocational training वगैरह करके we need to fill the gap. That's number one. Number two, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम एंड हाइब्रिड मॉडल का जो ये कंसेप्ट आया है, we need to utilize this properly and bring some of the jobs available in other market, and with our technology we need to fill those gaps around the world. So that's the another. Third, the startups. So yes, a lot of our youngsters, university graduates are focusing too much on startups, but we do have still the problem in scaling up. So here I would say that the government and R&D Innovation Center need to find a way where they can incubate these ideas and scale it for a bigger and larger way. We need to also focus on some of the awareness program where some of our university graduates is too much focus on the government jobs and all. We need to come out from this mentality and find a way that how we can create a quality jobs for our university graduates, and involve our graduates to understand the value of entrepreneurship, not only rely on the government jobs. So there are a few things which I believe that needs to be done. एक और चीज मैं ध्यान देना चाहूंगा, because the freelancing के opportunities में भी इंडिया में बहुत हैं, and the people can serve the need for the rest of the world. So we also need to consider this as one of the opportunity for the jobs. So these are the few points I believe that if we can focus on, तो शायद हम, of course हम पूरी डिमांड पूरा नहीं कर सकते हैं, but we can fill a lot of gaps. Yeah.
और इंडिया का इसमें बहुत बड़ा एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दिखता है, अगर हम ये सारी चीजें मैक्सिमम भी कर पाए तो एक इंडिया में एक काफी पोटेंशियल है आगे फ्यूचर में ग्रो करने.
Yes, agree, yeah.
अगर हम एक समराइज करें, इफ वी हैव टू समराइज दिस पॉडकास्ट, व्हाट आर द रिस्क वी सी इन ईच ऑफ द कंट्री, वेदर इट इज यूके, यूएस एंड इंडिया, एंड व्हाट आर द opportunities and for the growth we can see in each country? Is it, if you can summarize this?
Yeah, so do you want me to start with the US, UK and India specifically,
Yeah.
or just in overall what you
No, I
finding in
think
the economy?
individually would make more, individually would be better, so that, yeah.
So First, let me share with you in the UK में opportunities क्या है. So in my understanding, in opportunities in UK is one in a green technology and innovations and tech is one of the biggest opportunities when UK could tackle for the world need. Risks, I would still say that the inflation is the biggest risk which can derail to the UK economy. And if the war prolongs and everything becomes unstable in a global level, and especially again the new trigger in the Middle East, especially the Israel, Iran, and all these things, that could derail. In US, there is a huge opportunity in the tech leadership, especially in the AI leadership. So US could be continue becoming the AI leader, especially in the AI software development and biotechnology. And this sector is going to be a drive for the future requirement. Third, I would see that again in the US also it applies that the infrastructure and a clean energy, the US has a lot to offer to the world and also help their economy, which can be much more longer term, sustainable, and as a um, driver to the world economy. Again, is there any risk? I would say that it's the same risk that if the war in the US, rather in Ukraine and Russia escalates, or a war in Israel and Iran escalates, that could be hampering for the world economy.
Correct.
For the India, I see the lot of opportunities, especially the digital economy. So India's rapid digital transformation offers immense opportunities for the IT and for the AI. Second, opportunities are manufacturing and make in India as post-COVID and the bipolar world with the US and China. Now it has become the multipolar world. The world is seeing that the China plus one in a supply chain, and where I believe that India has a lot of opportunities to fill some of the gaps. Otherwise, some of the gaps has been filled by like Taiwan, Indonesia, and other South Korea and all. But still, I believe that India has a lot to offer because due to the size, due to its population, due to the young workforce, India has a potential, if not replace China, especially fill some of the big gaps of that. Then India has a potential, especially as I said, again also in the uh, sustainable energy, where they can help this economy to grow. There is a risk if we are not going to provide the right jobs to our young people. If there will be some political instability in the country, then there are the risks. So even overall, if you ask me, Neha, for your viewers, across the UK, US, and India, the common thread of opportunity is technology, innovation, and sustainable development. The UK's push for a green energy, the US leadership in AI and biotech, and India's opportunity in digital economy and manufacturing sector. Each country provide the very wide and distribute opportunity that can be leveraged by the businesses, by the investors, and the professionals who are looking for the right set of job. The key is to align with these growth sector and stay adaptive and the rapid changes in the global economy. So the all three economy are complementing with each other. They are aligned with the common set of opportunities and common set of risks. So this is in summarizations for your viewers.
Yeah, that was a very good summarization, at least to understand from an bird's view that how is everything is correlated and what will be the future we can expect it could be. So I think thank you so much, and I think it was amazing podcast to understand कि इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस क्या है और हर एक कंट्री के अपने प्रोज एंड कॉन्स जो कि हमने काफी अच्छे तरीके से इस पॉडकास्ट में समझा. थैंक यू फॉर योर नॉलेज एंड आई थिंक इट वाज ग्रेट conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Neha, and it was really an interesting topic, and your questions were really good. and I believe that it provides a really a very nice view. I believe I tried to explain some of the factors. Some of the factors are still volatile, so no one can talk about the complete authority that this is going to happen. But there are full of opportunities, and there are some of the good risk also. Yes.
Oh, that's really great. And let's see how the things will move on.
Thank you so much, and best of luck for your new next podcast topic.
Thank you. Thank you so much.